Hey, this is Brock with Straight Line Delivery, and I wanted to make a video today. After talking to a few people that asked for some help, I wanted to make a video that gave you guys a little bit of inside baseball, if you will. There are certain ways to run trucks that are a lot more profitable than others. Maybe not on the gross amount on the week, but on the amount of money you put in your pocket and making your truck last longer by not putting so many miles on it. This work system I have developed is more of a work with your back and not with your, truck method. And it's just meaning being Johnny on the spot and doing 2 loads a day instead of doing one long load where you drive from, New York all the way to California. That sounds a lot easier, but usually those don't pay as well. What really pays well, what really does well is, and I'll type in some towns here, but what really pays well is something that is a bit of a pain in the butt for the broker. It doesn't have a lot of miles to it. They can't get anybody that they want to take it. It doesn't pay enough to justify a whole day on the road because no one sleeps in a truck to make $500 or $600 or $700. That doesn't make any sense. But if you can run something really short and then pick something else back up, then you can run a couple hundred miles a day for $1,200, $1,300, $1,400. I've had guys, and I'll put some of this stuff in. I've had guys, and I'll give you an example here, and I'll try to record this so that it times up with my what I'm telling you guys here. If you can have somebody pick up in the Pittsburgh area, and they go from Pittsburgh to Butler to Union City, Pennsylvania. All right, so you go, okay, that's 132 miles. All right. Well, what's a good rate for a full-size truck? Is $3 a mile a good rate for a full-size truck? I think most people would say that's pretty fair. Well, what about this? If you've got somebody that needs something that goes from Pittsburgh to Butler at 53 miles, and they're going to pay $700, that's really good. And Butler is still a good spot to be in. It's close to Pittsburgh. You could pick that up at 8 o'clock in the morning, have it empty by noon or 1, pick up another piece that goes to Union City, PA, dropping up here. Another, let's just call it 100 miles. It's 97.5 miles. Let's call it 100 miles for, let's say they're only paying $700. So the one with 34 miles paid $700, and the one with 97 miles wants to pay $700. And I think too many people look at that and go, well, that's not fair. These guys at 34 miles paid $700. You only want to pay $700. It's all fair. It depends on how strong the need is for you to get something like that there. What I think most people are missing, and I think what most people don't have access to, is somebody like me who understands the particular driver that's there, and can act on that. If you're working for a company or you're looking to lease onto a company, and they've got 1 dispatcher and 20 trucks, you're not ever getting this level of service. This is not going to be something that you get. You are going to get Pittsburgh to Chicago at $250 a mile, and that's going to be your load. And that's fine. You will make a living doing that. So when guys say, well, I can just book my own loads, that's true, you can. But you don't have the time and the experience that I do to put into it like this. I'm already at the computer. I don't have to drive a truck. I don't have to be anywhere. All I have to do is work out problems and coordinate the freight. When I see something like this, How long would your truck last if you could have a $1,400 day at 132 miles? That's pretty good. Now that's extreme. That's extremely good. But let's even go back and call it, let's say the first load's 500 miles and the second load's 500 miles, or dollars, $500. That's $1,000 for 132 miles. That's pretty good money. And you may only put $5,000 to $6,000 on your truck a week, but how long is that truck going to last you? How long are the oil interchange intervals going to last you? The tires, all that stuff. You get the point. Keep the miles low in your truck. You can run from New York to LA and back, and that's probably what I'd do if I had 20 trucks. I don't ever want to have 20 trucks and run this by myself because I wouldn't be servicing the people as best I could. You'd still make okay money, but there's okay money and then there's crushing it. If you're going to be out there sleeping in parking lots for 5 days a week away from your family, then make the money. That's my whole philosophy to life behind this. Get out there and crush it. You got to partner up with somebody who's going to do that for you, somebody who knows what they're doing. So the Pittsburgh area, like I was just talking to a guy today, great to do that. They make raw steel there and then they send it to a ton of places all around Pittsburgh within 100 miles that need to make some sort of widget out of it, whatever. The other thing you need to consider when you're partnering up is, are you kind of the star of the show? Are you in a small fleet where that's all this person does? Or are you signing on to somebody who's already got a ton of trucks and they're just like, yeah, we can get you freight, we can get you money. Yeah, that's okay and you'll make a living, but I would encourage you, partner up with somebody small like me, not too small, but small like me who's done this for a while and understands the business. Really talk to them. You watch this video, I get comments all the time that people say, I can tell you're genuine and I can tell that you know what you're talking about and your videos are informative. This is such a key piece of the puzzle. If you can run for $7, $8, $9 an hour, 1 or 2 days a week, you can really, really make some money. And the reason this is only doable a couple of days a week is because you need to get out to a place from wherever you live to do this, and then you need to get back home. Here's the other thing about a semi and a step deck. If you live anywhere near, and I'm just using the map right now, Pittsburgh, Toledo, Detroit, Chicago, Milwaukee, even Indianapolis to North Indiana, Chicago, you can run up in a day, make some money, and come back home. You could spend every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday night at your house. So that's 3 nights at home. And you could be home 1 day during the week if you wanted to. Now that would cut out one of these days where you make, like you do 2 runs at once. Because you get 1 run, you take it all the way back home if you lived in, Columbus or something. You lived out somewhere, Cincinnati or West Virginia or wherever you live. So think about that. I think a lot of people think that this is really a big intimidating thing because semis are scary, You walk past them, the hood seems like it's 10 feet tall. They're loud, they're aggressive looking. And people think, oh my God, a semi. I want to run a hot shot because I don't want to sign up for all that. Because a hot shot truck I can use for, hauling my boat around, my camp around on the weekends and stuff like that. That's true. But you can get a lot more home time with a semi. And you can do a whole lot more running around in the same area and less miles so that you put the same or more money in your pocket than running all over the place in a hot shot. I went to buy a tractor once. I had a dirt bike track that I needed I think it was a 14-foot disc. I wanted to disc all the ruts out of this dirt bike track. And Ford 9N was a super popular tractor. Every retired guy wanted one for his 3-acre mini farm so he could bush hog and till up, 1/8 of an acre garden or something like that. So those were expensive. Those were like gosh, I think those were like 7, 8, 9 grand when I was looking at them. This is a long time ago. But a great big, I ended up getting a International Harvester 806 Turbo, which is got a back tire on it that's almost 6 feet tall, 95 horsepower, big tractor for about half the cost. And I asked the guy, why am I getting all this machine for less money? This doesn't make any sense. He said, well, people are intimidated of it. It's huge. It won't fit into a garage. The seat was probably 6, 7, probably 7 feet off the ground. It's just a big, intimidating beast of a machine. It won't fit in a garage. It's a little inconvenient to have. And if you're just doing a little mini farm, that's fine. It's the same exact way with trucks. A brand new 1-ton truck's 80, 90 grand, right? Go look at a semi that's 80 or 90 grand. Look at what you can get. And you don't need the biggest, baddest, over-the-road, long-haul, luxury sleeper truck in the world. You don't need this ginormous, over-the-road, overpowered beast. You don't need it. Because if you live anywhere between New Jersey and Milwaukee, anywhere in between that zone, then you can go home every single weekend and maybe a night during the week. So you don't need the biggest, baddest truck in the world. For 40 or 50 grand, you can buy a pretty decent semi and go out there and stay in a main town, maybe even your hometown, depending on where you live, and really crush it. I mean, really make some good money. And then have the money for repairs when you buy a well-used semi that you're going to put into it. But I encourage everyone to kind of retool your thinking. I've got a lot of people that want to do hot shot. That's what they think they want to do. But I've got to tell you, I really like where the direction of step decks and semis are headed. Again, step decks are fantastic because when you need a step deck, because something's tall, by law, you have to pay a step deck. And that puts the ball in our court because when you need it, you need it. And I can kind of charge a little bit more money because we can handle the height. So again, my program mainly centers around making a full-time living. I've had retired guys do this to say, I want to work 4 days a week. I never want to work a Friday. And they do. But I base this around, hey, you need to make as much money as humanly possible. You're raising a family. You got a mortgage. You got all the American things, right? All the bills. That's what this is centered around making. Getting you good time off on your weekends, time off for vacations, and putting as much money in your pocket as humanly possible. That way you can continue to go out and crush it for your family. If you're going to be busy Monday through Friday, you might as well make all the money you possibly can. And this is what I see kind of the future going to, because everything's just-in-time freight. People don't have great big facilities anymore. They got smaller facilities and they need to pay it's cheaper to pay the trucks a little more to zip back and forth short distances than it is to have a giant facility and build a 6-month stockpile. People just aren't doing that anymore. That's about it for this one. If you have any questions, email me, leave me your phone number. I'll get back with you and answer any questions I can. I'll leave all my information at the end of the video. And that's about it. Have a great day, everybody.